Pele made that promise only after watching his national team lose the World Cup final. In that moment, the 9-year-old boy looked at his crying father and said,
"I'll win a World Cup for Brazil, Pai. I promise."
His father David thought it was just a child trying to comfort him, so he told him to listen to his mother Maria and focus on school. But no one knew at the time that this innocent-sounding promise would one day help Brazil lift the Jules Rimet trophy 3 times. And that boy would later be known to the world as Pele, the king of football. What many people do not know is that Pele was not his real name. It was a mocking nickname given by wealthy kids. Pele was born in a remote village in Brazil. His father David was a former football player who became a cleaner after a career-ending injury. Poverty forced Pele to grow up quickly. After school, he would shine shoes on the streets to help support the family. The only thing that made him happy was football. Since they could not afford a real ball, they stuffed old cloth and socks together and played. With no field, the dusty streets became their stadium. Barefoot children ran through the alleys, showing natural talent flowing through Brazilian blood. By the age of 9, Pele already showed incredible skill, but his mother Maria strongly opposed his dream because she did not want him to repeat David's fate. But once a dream takes root, it grows like wild grass that cannot be stopped. One day, Pele followed his mother to work at a wealthy household owned by John. Inside the luxurious home were desserts he had never seen before. While his mother was not looking, he secretly took one. But after one bite, John's sons walked in. They were talking about football stars. Pele said his favorite player was Pele.
Who the heck's Pelé? Belay the suit. His name's Belay.
They laughed and mocked him, even kicking a ball toward him. Maria rushed to apologize and scolded Pele, promising never to bring him again. Pele felt both angry and wronged. Before leaving, he secretly took a newspaper. It contained news about a youth football tournament. He immediately formed a team with his friends, but their opponents were John's sons. The rich kids wore brand new kits, while Pele's team wore uniforms made from bedsheets, unable to afford shoes. They were called the Barefoot Team. To buy shoes, the boys even sold peanuts on the street, but they ran into the rich kids again. They mocked Tom, the boy with glasses, and continued insulting Pele's nickname. Pele finally snapped and punched one of them. A fight broke out. John witnessed everything, but did not intervene immediately. Later, he told Pele, "A true champion is not broken by insults. If you want to become a professional player, you must learn to accept who you are. Violence solves nothing." Those words became a light in Pele's mind. The final match finally arrived. The shoes they bought with peanut money were far too big. They could barely control the ball and fell behind 0-6. The rich kids kept mocking Pele. Just as he was about to lose control, he saw his father David's calm and firm gaze. In that moment, he calmed down. He took off the shoes and threw them away. The crowd laughed loudly, but Pele did not care. He felt the ground under his bare feet and found himself again. He closed his eyes and imagined the streets he grew up on. When he opened them again, it was as if a sleeping beast had awakened. He gently lifted the ball and it danced between his feet and body. The crowd was stunned. He dribbled through the entire defense and scored. His teammates were inspired and removed their shoes as well. They fought back and made it 6-5. Although they still lost due to lack of time, the entire crowd was chanting his name. The mocking nickname had become a symbol of honor. Soon after, a Santos scout named Mike noticed him and gave a business card to David. But life did not become easier. Later, people from a peanut factory came looking for them. The children ran into a cave. The cave collapsed and one boy could not escape. Pele tried desperately to save him, but could do nothing. He fell into deep guilt, believing football caused everything. Maria held him gently and did not blame him. David eventually put the scout card away. From that moment on, Pele became silent. After school, he worked alongside his father. He no longer smiled. To bring him back, David started using mangoes as footballs. He would intentionally miss shots to provoke him. Pele finally reacted and kicked a mango into a bucket. Father and son smiled. Joy returned. Mango training became their secret game. Green mangoes for power, ripe mangoes for control. David told him not to rush and to enjoy the process. Time passed quickly. 6 years went by. Pele had become highly skilled. Even though he only played in the streets, he regained his confidence. Maria finally understood football was part of his life. She contacted the scout Mike. The next day, Mike was already waiting. With his family's support, Pele set off to chase his dream. But reality is always harsher than imagination. In his first training session at Santos,